Before the first light reaches the African plains, a battle for survival is already beginning. For the resident pride, this territory is more than land. It is a hunting ground, a shelter, and the only place where their young can survive. The roar of a dominant male is not only a warning, it is a declaration that every creature in this valley can hear. In the wild, many battles are decided before the first strike. Strength, confidence, and experience determine who controls the future. For the youngest members of the pride, this confrontation carries the greatest danger. A change in leadership can change everything. The old ruler knows that surrender is not an option. His pride depends on his ability to defend this land. For generations, these echoes have marked the rise and fall of Africa's greatest predators. Unlike solitary hunters, these males have something more powerful than size. They have cooperation. While the males fight for territory, the females carry the responsibility of protecting the next generation. This battle is not just between lions. It is part of a larger struggle that shapes the entire ecosystem. Every day after survival, the pride must remind its neighbors that this land still belongs to them. Across the savannah, invisible messages decide where predators can move and where they cannot. After every battle, the pride returns to the same challenge: surviving another day in a land where nothing is guaranteed. This valley is a world of constant movement, where every species has its own strategy for survival. But even the most powerful predators must respect animals that fight together. The African buffalo is one of the few animals capable of standing against the greatest hunters of the plains. As the dry season intensifies, every journey toward water becomes a dangerous test. For young animals, survival depends on the strength of the group around them. But while some predators depend on numbers, others rely on silence. The leopard does not need a battlefield. It waits for a single perfect opportunity. Unlike the lions that announce their power, the leopard survives through patience, precision, and silence. Every movement is calculated. One mistake can mean losing the only opportunity to feed. The leopard does not chase its prey across open ground. It waits until the distance disappears. A successful hunt begins long before the first movement. It begins with patience. In the wilderness, the difference between survival and starvation can be measured in seconds. Failure is common in nature. Even the greatest hunters must try again. This landscape belongs to many hunters, each one following a different path to survive. When darkness covers the savannah, another powerful predator begins its search. Hyenas are not simply scavengers. They are intelligent hunters with one of the strongest social systems in Africa. Their greatest weapon is not strength alone, but cooperation. In the harsh, dry season, every scent can lead to a chance for survival. Across Africa, lions and hyenas have competed for thousands of generations. Every encounter between these rivals is a battle of confidence, numbers, and experience. The borders between predator territories are constantly changing. Where the land becomes water, another world of survival begins. The Nile crocodile has survived for millions of years by mastering patience. Below the calm surface hides one of Africa's most ancient predators. Every visit to the river brings opportunity, but also danger. For young animals, survival depends on the protection of those around them. The elephants of Africa are survivors of a world that has changed for millions of years. But not all hunters rely on strength. Some rely on teamwork and endurance. African wild dogs are among the most efficient hunters on the continent.
Their success comes from cooperation, communication, and trust within the pack. Unlike solitary predators, the pack becomes a single hunting force.
Speed, teamwork, and endurance allow them to chase prey until exhaustion takes over. For wild dogs, survival is not about the strongest individual. It is about the strength of the family. Every species has its own strategy, but all are connected by the same fragile environment. In Africa, every creature plays a role in the endless cycle of survival.
As darkness returns, the battle for survival continues. Tomorrow, another story will begin on these ancient lands.
After surviving the night, the pride faces a new challenge. In the African wilderness, every morning is another test of survival. A king's greatest responsibility is not victory. It is protecting everything that depends on him. As the dry season becomes stronger, water becomes the center of every struggle. For a young cub, even a simple journey across the savannah can become a dangerous adventure. During the dry season, every animal arrives at the same place, and every animal brings a different risk. The buffalo survive because they understand one important rule: there is strength in numbers. Some creatures do not escape danger. They face it. For the lions, every opportunity requires patience and perfect timing. The most successful hunters are not always the strongest. They are the ones who know when to wait. Around the water, the invisible borders of Africa's predators become clear. When darkness arrives, the balance of power begins to shift. Hyenas survive because every member understands its role. A hyena clan is not a kraut. It is a complex society built for survival. Between these ancient rivals, every encounter is a calculation. Sometimes survival is not about fighting. Sometimes it is about knowing when to retreat. Beyond every battle is a much larger world, connected by movement and migration. For prey animals, survival begins with awareness. The youngest members of every herd learn the dangers of the plains from their first steps. Not every predator rules through strength. Some depend on incredible speed. The cheetah's greatest weapon is not power. It is precision. For the fastest animal on land, every chase must be perfectly timed. In only a few seconds, the cheetah reveals one of nature's most remarkable designs. But speed comes with a cost. Every failed chase drains precious energy. For a cheetah, survival depends on choosing the right moment, not chasing every opportunity. Every predator has evolved a different strategy to survive in this competitive world. While lions depend on power and cheetahs depend on speed, wild dogs depend on unity. For wild dogs, Family is the foundation of survival. Their journey is not only about hunting, it is about protecting the next generation. Every successful hunt begins with cooperation. The pack moves as one, turning teamwork into their greatest weapon. After every challenge, the pack returns to what matters most: survival together. But beyond the grasslands, another battle unfolds along Africa's rivers. The hippopotamus may appear peaceful, but it is one of Africa's most territorial animals. Beneath the calm surface lies a powerful animal built for dominance. In the river, territory is defended just as fiercely as on land. Every creature living here must understand the danger around it. The river connects every part of this ecosystem.
For elephants, survival is passed from one generation to the next through memory and protection.
Every species in this wilderness is connected by the same struggle. When the sun disappears, Africa's hidden battles continue. The darkness belongs to those who know how to use it. Every sound in the darkness tells another story of survival. For the cubs, every night survived is another step toward adulthood. Another day begins, and the endless struggle of the African wilderness continues. Beyond this valley, countless other worlds exist, each with its own stories of survival. In the heart of Zambia lies another wilderness shaped by water, drought, and endless competition. Here, the giants of Africa must navigate a changing world. Their survival depends on knowledge passed through generations. Where water remains, life gathers. But where life gathers, competition follows. The next chapter will reveal the battles hidden within Africa's richest wilderness. Kafue is one of Africa's greatest wilderness areas, a land where water decides who survives and who struggles. This river is the heartbeat of the wilderness, connecting every creature that depends on it.
For elephants, survival begins with knowledge passed down through generations.
The oldest elephants carry memories of places where water can still be found. When the rivers disappear, elephants must search beneath the surface for hidden sources of life. The buffalo is one of the most dangerous animals in Africa, a symbol of strength and resistance. Against powerful predators, the buffalo's greatest weapon is unity. The lions of Kafue must choose every battle carefully.
Even the strongest predators must conserve energy in a harsh environment.
For lionesses, success depends on teamwork and timing. Every hunt is a calculation between distance, speed, and opportunity.
For prey animals, survival begins with recognizing danger before it arrives.
On the open plains, a few seconds can separate life from death. Failure is part of life in the wild, Even skilled hunters often return empty-handed.
After every challenge, the pride returns to the same goal: protecting the next generation.
Where land meets water, another struggle for survival begins.
Hidden beneath the surface, patience becomes the ultimate weapon.
Every visit to the river carries a risk.
For herbivores, finding water is necessary, but reaching it safely is another challenge.
This wetland is a world where every species follows the rhythm of water.
The hippopotamus may spend most of its life in water, but it controls a territory as fiercely as any predator.
Behind their calm appearance is an animal built for dominance. In the river, territory is defended with incredible power.
Every river creates its own kingdom, and every kingdom has its rulers.
Far from the rivers, another family of hunters begins its journey. Few predators can match their endurance and teamwork. Their strength comes from never giving up.
In a world where many predators compete alone, wild dogs survive by staying together. This wilderness survives because different worlds exist side by side.
Every call across the darkness is a message understood by the entire wilderness. Even the giants of Africa continue their journey after sunset.
Another morning arrives, bringing another chapter of survival.
Across Africa, every region tells a different story of adaptation. Beyond the open plains lies a hidden world of forests and shadows. Here, survival depends on navigating a completely different environment. From rivers to forests, every corner of Africa holds a different battle. In this hidden world, the leopard becomes almost invisible.
For every hunter, there is a survivor constantly searching for danger. When darkness arrives, the forest belongs to those who can move silently.
Every trail tells a story of survival, written across the land. Among these trees, the giants of Africa must adapt to a changing landscape.
For young elephants, every lesson learned from the herd increases their chance of survival.
Their survival depends on a memory built over decades. Even the largest animals must constantly adapt to the challenges of their environment. Farther east, another wilderness reveals a different battle for survival. The river offers protection from the heat, but it also creates competition. The buffalo is built for survival in one of Earth's toughest environments. Hyenas possess intelligence and teamwork that make them formidable competitors. Their survival depends on cooperation within the clan. The leopard continues its lonely journey through a world of giants. This vast wilderness contains countless stories happening at the same time. Among the shadows lives one of Africa's most ancient survivors. For rhinos, protecting the next generation is the greatest responsibility. The silent hunters continue moving through the shadows. Africa's wilderness is not one story. It is millions of stories unfolding at the same time. Across Africa, the story of survival continues in landscapes where millions of lives are connected by the rhythm of nature. Here, survival is not only about strength, it is about movement. For countless generations, these animals have followed the same invisible roads written into their instincts. For the youngest members of the migration, the journey begins with a fight for survival from the very first moments. Where prey moves, predators are never far away. The arrival of thousands of animals creates new opportunities for Africa's greatest hunters. For lionesses, success depends on patience, teamwork, and perfect timing. The distance between hunter and prey is measured not only in meters, but in moments. Every movement must remain hidden until the final second. This endless cycle has shaped Africa's ecosystems for millions of years. But not every predator rules through teamwork. Some survive alone. The cheetah sees the world differently. Every movement is calculated around speed. A successful hunt begins with getting close enough for speed to matter. For a few seconds, evolution creates one of nature's most incredible displays of speed. But speed comes with a price. The fastest hunter must also recover quickly. While the cheetah dominates open ground, the leopard controls another world. The trees provide safety, observation, and protection from competitors. Across the plains, another powerful society begins its nightly search. Hyenas survive because every individual contributes to the group. The darkness belongs to many hunters, and competition never stops. Their strength comes from trust built within the pack. Among Africa's predators, cooperation can be more powerful than size. Few predators can match their ability to chase for long distances. Where millions travel, countless battles follow. The journey across Africa's plains eventually leads to one of nature's greatest challenges. Below the surface, ancient hunters wait for opportunity. For the migrating animals, the river is both a path forward and a dangerous obstacle. Every crossing requires courage. Few moments in nature reveal the struggle for survival so clearly. The survivors continue because stopping is not an option. While millions migrate, the giants of Africa follow their own ancient paths. For elephants, survival is a family journey. Experience becomes the most valuable resource during difficult seasons. Above the grasslands, Another world survives among the trees. Every feature of these animals tells a story of adaptation. Some survivors have remained almost unchanged for millions of years. For these ancient giants, every new generation is precious. Every creature contributes to the balance of this enormous living system. As the day ends, Africa's ancient cycle continues. But beneath the endless sky, another chapter of survival is already beginning. When the rains disappear, the African plains transform into a battlefield where every drop of water becomes priceless. The dry season does not arrive suddenly. It slowly tests every creature that depends on this land. For elephants, survival means traveling farther and remembering places that still hold life. The oldest members of the herd carry memories that can save hundreds of lives. When water becomes scarce, every animal must share the same fragile refuge. But every gathering place also attracts those who hunt. The hunters understand that patience can be more powerful than speed. Against the lion's strength, the buffalo answers with courage and unity. In the wilderness, sometimes survival belongs not to the strongest, but to the one that refuses to surrender. Not every battle ends with a victory. Sometimes survival itself is the reward. When one hunter leaves, another begins its search. The night belongs to predators that can find opportunities others miss. A clan survives because every member understands its role. Even under darkness, the competition for survival never stops. Every footprint left behind tells the story of another struggle. The ground itself becomes a record of life and death across the plains. For the cheetah, the dry season creates both challenges and opportunities. The fastest hunter must carefully choose when to spend its energy. For a cheetah, one perfect decision can mean the difference between feeding and going hungry. For a few seconds, the cheetah becomes pure speed. But every burst of speed leaves the cheetah vulnerable. In Africa, even success can attract competition. Sometimes survival means knowing when to leave. Each predator has evolved a different path through the same harsh world. Where the cheetah depends on speed, the leopard depends on secrecy. The trees provide a fortress where the leopard can escape stronger rivals. Above the ground, the leopard sees a world of possibilities. While others hunt alone, wild dogs survive through cooperation. Their greatest weapon is the bond between every member of the pack. Together, they transform endurance into a powerful hunting strategy. For wild dogs, every journey is about protecting the future of the pack. As the dry season continues, water becomes the center of every story. For the crocodile, patience has always been the key to survival. Beneath the surface, a hidden world waits. Even the giants must respect the dangers hidden beneath the water. The river connects every creature that depends on it. In this harsh season, every surviving moment is a victory. But when the sun disappears, another world awakens. The struggle continues because the wilderness never truly sleeps. The dry season has reached its most difficult stage. Every creature now faces the ultimate challenge of survival. For the giants of Africa, survival requires strength, memory, and endurance. The oldest female carries knowledge that could determine whether the entire herd survives. For the youngest elephants, every journey is a lesson in survival. When the surface disappears, elephants rely on instincts built through generations. A simple discovery beneath the earth can become a lifeline for hundreds of animals. One family's knowledge creates hope for an entire community. But every gathering place attracts both the vulnerable and the dangerous. For lions, controlling territory means controlling access to survival. The hunt begins with observation long before the chase. But some prey animals are powerful enough to challenge the hunters. The buffalo carries a reputation earned through countless battles. The herd survives because every individual understands its role. In nature, a single decision can change the outcome of a confrontation. This moment is not just a battle between two species. It is part of a larger balance. Sometimes survival belongs to those who know when to wait. As one predator leaves, another begins its search. Hyenas have survived because they understand opportunity better than almost any predator. Their strength comes from cooperation, communication, and experience. When darkness covers the land, the struggle for survival continues in silence. The night reveals hunters that depend on patience rather than power. For the leopard, every step is calculated. From above, the leopard watches a world filled with endless opportunities. As another day begins, every predator returns to the same challenge. For wild dogs, survival depends on the power of the group. The future of the pack depends on protecting those who cannot protect themselves. Their journey across Africa is powered by cooperation. Before every chase comes a moment of decision. The pack succeeds because it never gives up. For these hunters, survival is always a shared responsibility. Across Africa, every habitat creates a different challenge. The crocodile has mastered the art of waiting. Here, survival follows the rhythm of the river. Beneath the surface, patience becomes power. Even the largest animals must respect hidden dangers. The river connects every creature that depends on this land. A single ecosystem can contain thousands of stories.
Even the smallest lives play a role in maintaining balance.
The African wilderness survives because every creature is connected. And tomorrow, the endless struggle between survival and nature will begin again. Every sunrise in Africa marks the beginning of another struggle, another journey, and another chance to survive. The elephants continue their ancient path, carrying memories that have guided generations before them. In the wilderness, information is survival. Every scent, sound, and footprint tells a story. Even the smallest creatures benefit from the movements of the largest. For thousands of years, elephants have been architects of the African wilderness. But hidden among the vegetation are survivors facing a different kind of challenge. The rhinoceros has survived millions of years through strength and caution. Every step of this ancient animal represents a connection to a much older world. For a mother rhinoceros, protecting the next generation is the greatest responsibility. The lessons of survival begin with every step beside a parent. Across Africa, every species depends on the balance created by others. High above the plains, giraffes survive in a world few animals can reach. Their extraordinary bodies are perfectly designed for life among the tallest trees. The giraffe moves through the savanna like a living symbol of adaptation. Even peaceful giants must always remain aware of danger. The plains belong to countless travelers, following the rhythm of nature. For young animals, the herd is the first and most important protection. The hunters are always watching, waiting for the right moment. A successful hunt begins with patience, long before action. Every movement creates a reaction in the endless game between hunter and hunted. On the open plains, survival depends on speed, awareness, and instinct. For prey animals, surviving one encounter does not mean the danger has disappeared. The pride rests, but the struggle continues. Africa is not one wilderness. It is a collection of countless worlds connected together. The skies above the plains are also filled with stories of survival. From above, predators see a world hidden from those on the ground. Precision and patience rule the skies as much as they rule the plains. Beneath the giants exists another hidden world of survival. Even the smallest creatures help maintain the balance of this enormous ecosystem. As evening arrives, every species prepares for another night of survival. The pride returns home, carrying another day of survival behind them. The night belongs to those who know how to disappear. Ancient hunters continue waiting in the darkness. But when lions rest, other hunters begin their journey. Even the giants need moments of rest. The wilderness never stops moving, even when the world appears silent. With every sunrise, the ancient cycle begins again. Across this continent, survival has created some of the most extraordinary stories on Earth. This is the wild heart of Africa, where every life is connected and every day is a battle to continue. Across Africa, survival is shaped by the endless relationship between predators, prey, and the land they share. For a male lion, leadership is never permanent. Every day brings a new challenge. A territory is more than land. It is the foundation of an entire pride's future.
Every sound across the plains carries a message.
The battle for control often begins long before the first confrontation. In the wild, confidence can be as powerful as physical strength.
For the pride, the outcome of this moment could change everything. Not every battle is decided by a fight. Sometimes survival is determined by judgment. For now, the pride remains united.
But across the plains, another powerful struggle is unfolding. The buffalo survives not because it avoids danger, but because it faces it. Some individuals become symbols of strength within the herd. The journey to water creates opportunities for hunters.
The lions know that attacking a buffalo requires perfect timing.
The herd transforms from individuals into one powerful force. Few animals command the respect that the African buffalo does. The plains belong to those that understand when to fight and when to survive another day. The crocodile has survived because it wastes almost no energy. For millions of years, patience has been its greatest weapon. The river belongs to creatures that have mastered life between land and water. The peaceful appearance of a hippo hides incredible power. Every species has found its own way to survive beside the river. The largest animals on land and water meet in the same fragile environment. In the river, territory is defended with the same determination seen on land. When darkness arrives, the river reveals another side of survival. The silent hunters continue moving after the world falls asleep.
The night belongs to predators that work together.
Every pack survives because every member matters. Another morning arrives, and the ancient struggle continues. Africa's wilderness is a world built on connections. For smaller animals, awareness is their greatest defense. Every creature has a role in this enormous living system.
どんなに小さな命もは、大きなものの生存に影響を与えますね。
From the smallest insect to the largest elephant, every life is connected. The wilderness continues, even when human eyes cannot see it.
Every generation begins with a fragile beginning. Protection and memory carry life forward.
The story of Africa is a story written through survival. A world where every heartbeat matters, every journey has meaning, and every life fights to continue.
For the pride, survival is not measured by one victory, but by every day they remain together.
Across this ancient continent, life continues through a delicate balance between strength, intelligence, and adaptation.
Every game is a lesson. Every movement prepares them for the challenges ahead. The young must learn the paths, dangers, and secrets of the land before they can survive alone.
Even moments of rest require awareness.
For solitary hunters, every opportunity must be taken carefully.
The leopard survives by avoiding unnecessary battles.
As night arrives, new hunters begin their search. The strength of the hyena comes from cooperation and intelligence.
Their territory overlaps with some of Africa's most powerful hunters.
A new day begins after another successful night of survival. Every scent reveals information about the world around them.
Few animals demonstrate the meaning of family like the African wild dog. Before they become hunters, they must first become members of the pack.
Their success comes from a level of cooperation few predators can match. Together, they transform endurance into power.
Their greatest advantage is not speed alone, but their refusal to stop.
For these animals, survival belongs to the group.
Every ecosystem tells a different chapter of Africa's endless survival story. Beneath the calm appearance lies incredible power.
Different worlds meet where water remains. Water creates life, but it also creates competition. The most patient hunters often wait where others cannot see.
The river has protected ancient predators for millions of years.
The river belongs to creatures built for strength.
For elephants, water is not only survival, it is also a place of connection.
The journey continues beyond the rivers. Above the plains, another generation continues the ancient search for food. Every young animal begins life as a student of survival. The plains are a place where millions of lives exist together. Every level of this world is connected.
For prey animals, awareness is the first line of defense. Life continues, even in places almost impossible to notice. From the smallest insect to the largest elephant, every creature has a purpose. The night reveals the hidden rhythm of Africa. The next generation rests beneath the protection of the pride. Memory, protection, and family carry life forward. Even in darkness, Africa continues to breathe. A new chapter begins with the return of the sun. Across Africa, every sunrise reveals a world shaped by millions of years of survival. This land is not controlled by one species. It belongs to a complex web of life. For elephants, survival is built on memory, communication, and family. The giants of Africa carry the knowledge of generations within their movements. Water connects every creature that depends on this ancient land. Hidden beneath the calm surface, ancient hunters continue their timeless existence. The river belongs to creatures that have mastered both land and water. Every species plays a role in maintaining the balance of this fragile world. Beyond the rivers, the endless struggle of the plains continues. The lion remains one of Africa's greatest symbols of strength. Every future hunter begins as a vulnerable young life, learning the rules of survival. The strength of the pride comes from cooperation. Across Africa, power is often found in unity. The next generation survives because the herd stands together. Speed allows the cheetah to survive, but only for moments at a time. The leopard survives by mastering patience and silence. For wild dogs, survival is not about the strongest individual, but the strength of the entire pack. The hyena proves that intelligence can be just as powerful as strength. Every predator and prey species is connected by the same cycle of life. Even the smallest lives help support the greatest giants. The African wilderness is a masterpiece built from countless connections. For millions of years, this land has witnessed the endless rhythm of survival. Movement itself becomes a strategy for survival. Every journey
begins with a single step. Where millions travel, opportunities follow.
The migration remains one of nature's greatest survival stories. The hunters continue, carrying their story into another generation. When darkness arrives, the hidden world awakens.
The silent hunters continue their ancient search.
Protection allows the next generation to dream of tomorrow.
Memory and family keep the giants alive.
Africa is not one world. It is thousands of worlds connected together.
Every detail carries millions of years of evolution.
At the water's edge, the entire story of survival can be seen.
The land remembers every journey.
This wilderness has survived because every creature has a purpose. The giants continue their journey through a changing world. The gentle giants of the plains remain part of the same endless cycle. Strength protects those who move together.
A world where every heartbeat matters.
The night closes another chapter, but the story never ends. Tomorrow will bring new challenges and new victories. Water, land, and life remain connected. The future of this kingdom begins with the youngest generation. Every life begins with protection and learning. Some survive through power. Others survive through silence. Together, they prove that cooperation is one of nature's greatest strengths. Ancient survivors continue their timeless journey. This continent remains one of Earth's greatest examples of resilience.
Different lives, different strategies, one shared world. The wilderness survives because every creature plays its part. Every gaze carries millions of years of survival. A world beyond imagination continues beneath the African sky. Survival is not only about battles, it is also about balance. For millions of years, this symphony of life has continued. And with every sunrise, the story begins again. The wild kingdom survives because every piece belongs together. Their stories are different, but their journey is the same. This is Africa, a land where life has endured, adapted, and survived for millions of years. The story of the wild is never truly finished. As long as life continues, Africa will keep telling its endless story of survival.